When it comes to youth sports, parents have a huge influence over their young athletes, but the competitive nature can sometimes get in the way of good sports parenting. So we asked my next guest to help us out with some advice. Cletus Coffey is a former professional athlete, and he also teaches workshops to parents and coaches as part of the Positive Coaching Alliance. And he's a parent to 3 student athletes. Welcome to New Day.
Great to be here, Kelly. Thanks for having me.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like I've seen this in the news quite a bit of, parents maybe getting a little unruly in games.
It's nothing new to youth and high school sports.
Sadly.
And it's going to continue unless we can step in and make some real change.
I love that, and you obviously know what you're talking about as a former professional athlete and now a dad. So you're going to give us 5 ways to be a great sports parent. So I want to start with number 1, support your athlete in absorbing the life lessons from sport. What can you tell me about that?
Our job, and as a parent, I struggle with this because I also coach as well, and so I'm sitting on both sides.
You really are.
As a parent, our job is not to coach. That's the coach's job. We entrust them to take care of our children and help them grow and evolve as an athlete and as a human being. Our job as parents is simply to help them absorb the life lessons, because there's an endless procession of life lessons in sports if we just are tuned to them and talk about them and communicate, and then get the kids to be able to see them and recognize them so they can apply them at school. They can apply these life lessons at home and obviously in life after sports.
Oh my gosh, that is so intriguing, because I do feel like people and parents are putting on their coach's hat, and that job is already taken most of the time. So number 2, know your child's goal for the season and cheer on those goals.
It doesn't matter the age of the child. Just check in with them. Like, what is your goal for this season? And it may be, I just want to have fun. I want to hang out with my friends. And this is important to know your child's goal, and as a parent to know your goals for your child. So for example, if your child is saying, I just want to have fun and be with my friends, but the parent is saying, scholarship, there's going to be some friction and some disconnection with, in the household there. So we want to make sure we know the child's goals so we can support them in that. All right, let's just get out there to learn and grow in your sport. And as parents, so that we can cheer for their goals. Instead of just cheering for the scores and the wins, we can cheer that, hey, I saw you hung out and developed some good teamwork and sportsmanship, supporting the athletes obviously throughout the entire process.
That is a really interesting take, because exactly, it's not all about for some kids to have, hey, we won and I scored all these goals. It's just, I wanted to play in the dirt and meet some people maybe. I don't know. That was me back in the day. Maybe I'm alone there. So your next one is make early positive contact with the coach. Be friendly with the coach. This
is critical. As a coach, generally the only time we hear from parents is when something's gone wrong.
Negative, okay.
My child's not getting enough playing time. They're in the wrong position. You're not running the right plays. So as a parent, reach out to your coach early and often, and we call it filling their emotional tank. Say something positive to them. Hey coach, I appreciate the work that you're doing out there. Hey, I like what you did in that particular drill, that practice. Supporting them at why? Because coaches are human beings, and when you fill their emotional tank, they feel good, and they're supporting your athlete, so you want them feeling good.
Definitely.
It's a win-win for everyone.
And a lot of times, in these younger sports, they're just doing it, they're volunteering. It's not like they're getting paid the big bucks, so let's be a little kinder there, okay? Number 4, avoid the dreaded car ride home. I remember this well with my brothers who were big into sports and my parents asking questions. So.
I'm willing to bet your viewers who have been an athlete as a youth athlete remember the car ride home as well.
That dreaded lots of questions, too many questions.
Yeah, and we actually polled hundreds of collegiate athletes and asked them, what was your worst memory of youth and high school sports? Their response, the car ride home. So as parents, we want to avoid what we call the post-game analysis. You jump in the car, don't try to rehash it and figure out what went right, what went wrong. Don't resist the urge to try to fix things. Oh, well, you need to do this with the coach, or I'm going to call the coach and say, just hold space if that's what they need. If they want to talk about it, they'll open up. They'll talk about it, and then you can engage and just support them in the life lessons of that process. Or what'd you learn in that example, or that failure, or that missed shot? What'd you learn? Ask those questions versus the pressure around how come you didn't play well or what happened.
Absolutely, and I feel like sometimes you just want to listen to like Beyonce in the car ride home and not maybe listen to your parents, to your point, say, hey, like you should have done this and that. It's like, did you play in the game? You know, can you walk a day in my shoes?
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. And number 5, the last on your list, focus on effort over outcomes.
Okay, so I got a question for you, Kelly.
I like it. Hit me with
When
it.
a parent who didn't go or guardian didn't go to a game, their child comes home from the game, what's the most common question that the parent asks the child when they walk through the door?
Did you win?
Did you win? They go straight to
I'm done for the day. I nailed it. Okay.
Exactly. So they go right to something that the child cannot control. The child can't control whether they won or lost. And this may be hard for some viewers. They're like, well, yes, they can. They cannot. There's only 3 things that we all can control. That's our attitude, our effort, and our response. So the outcomes are out of our control. We can't control the umpires, the referees, the other team. We can't control the weather. We cannot control the scoreboard. All we control is our attitude, our effort, and response. So a more thoughtful question when the child walks through the door is, where did you get better today? What that does is it immediately puts their focus on effort. Where did I get better? Well, I lost. It doesn't matter. Where did you get better? And through that, the score will come out eventually. Mom, dad, guardian, you'll figure it out. They'll communicate it, but go to effort over outcome first.
I have never heard that even from a coach or any. This is why you're so amazing at this, but I just got chilled. That just changes the whole dynamic when you're talking to your parents or whoever's asking, and just makes it positive even if the scoreboard maybe didn't reflect how well you thought you did. And so I do a little bonus question for you. Celebrate the great effort on both teams. So be a good sport. Is that kind of what you're getting at there?
This is huge. This is huge because we as parents are there we're for the game. We're for the competition. We're there for ball or for the race, whatever it is. And if we see our opponents are not our enemies. That's what society is teaching in youth and high school sports, that they're bad, they're the enemies. We need to beat them.
Right.
Well, yes, we want to compete and to win. Now, we still want to compete to win. However, if you see an athlete on the other team put forth great effort, make a great play, like cheer up, like awesome job, that's amazing. Here's the thing. The other parents, the other program, are going to look at your program and say, what's going on over there? They may not be able to understand it because it's so rare to be celebrating the other team, but it's powerful, and it teaches young people that, look, they're not our enemy. We're competing for today, but at the same time, I can't control the competitor. I'm going to control myself. Let's celebrate the game.
Everything you've said is just so inspiring and motivating. Thank you so much for being here. Everything you just mentioned too reminds me of like Ted Lasso. And that's why everyone loved that show, because it's just positive and lifting everybody up. So you're doing great things, and I think this is really important. I'm not going to call anyone out who might have gotten, kicked out of games in my family or friends, but it might have happened. They know who they are.
Be a goldfish though, that's the thing.
Thank you so much.